to 20 for 20. My name is Christine Robinson, and I'm with the Elks National Foundation. Today, I am joined by Neer Jain, a 2020 Top 20 Most Valuable Student Scholar, sponsored by Katy, Texas, Lodge number 2628. Thanks so much for joining us today, Neer.
Thank you so much for having me, Christine.
So, can you just introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Yeah, so my name is Neer Jain, as you mentioned, and I'm from Sugar Land, Texas. Next year, I'm going to be attending UT Austin and studying business at the Macomb School. And I guess I heard about Elks through my uh, college and career readiness center teacher, and I'm so happy she introduced it to me because here I am now.
Awesome. So, what did you mention what you're going to study while you're there? Business, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And what made you want to pursue that field of study?
So I think originally I was really interested in entrepreneurship, especially, as I heard more stories about tech innovators. And so I actually applied for, or I actually planned to do like a double major or a certificate major with like the School of Natural Sciences and Computer Science. So hopefully, uh, if that gets solidified within the next few years, I can sort of combine the things I learned through business and then as well as the technology aspect of it and maybe one day start my own startup.
Awesome. So, like tech startup, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And this next question is just about service. We know that Elk scholars are passionate about service. So, what does service mean to you?
Service has definitely been much more about as much as service is about you helping others. I feel like just the act of service has helped me so much throughout high school. It's been a large learning experience. I did service in India over one summer, and everybody sort of has an idea of what maybe an underprivileged community looks like, but you have to actually be there and you have to experience it in order to get a realization of how not only like their situation, but how you can help at any point in your life, anywhere in the world. And getting that experience is something that you can use as like a motivator for the future. If you want to truly help other people, now you sort of have a means of doing so because you've gone through those experiences. And so, I came back and I was able to join local nonprofits, even though I can't, be in India during the school year. I was able to take that and translate into something more local. And I think that's the best part about service is it gave me like a sense of motivation for the things that I'm doing.
Yeah, that's that's great. It sounds like you've had a really fulfilling experience with serving and found a way to continue doing it even through the school year and such. So that's great. Thank you for sharing. So, what is something that you're most proud of? Like it can be an academic achievement or something outside of school.
Uh, I guess so. One thing I'm really proud of is not necessarily like an achievement, but it was more of what I did as president of my school's Math and Science Academy. And so uh, previously, and I guess this sort of, I guess I'll make it like two answers, as well as my debate team, because both of those things are really close to me, and I was really involved in both of them throughout high school. But with the Math and Science Academy, we were basically we didn't have a coordinator for majority of our junior year, and our senior year coordinator, he was really new to the system and he had two extra schools. So he was actually splitting his time between three schools, whereas our previous coordinator was only splitting it through two schools. And so, I was able to, although he's like technically the person who's supposed to be guiding me, it was really fun to have that, dual back and forth relationship where I'm teaching him about the academy and he's maybe helping me learn how like administration works or how I can get my ideas through higher ups. And I think that was really beneficial because I got to not only have that unique experience with my coordinator as somebody who was both inexperienced, as both of us were inexperienced. This was my first time leading the academy, and this was also his first time, and that doesn't always happen. And a similar thing actually happened with our debate team, where we had a coach who was supposed to be with us for our junior year, but he ended up leaving due to some personal issues, and so we had to find a coach and like sign up for tournaments and do things on our own. And being able to take on the reins was really fulfilling looking back at it because uh, we were able to, like, as just students, we were able to, fill in a coach's job for a little while. And then when we got our new coach, we were even able to help her make the team even better than it was whenever we got it. And so I think those two things combined were probably the peak of my high school experience.
Nice. Do you think you'll continue debate after high school into college?
So, uh, I don't think I'll continue debate necessarily, but similar activities are definitely on the back of my mind, like things such as Model UN, or maybe even like doing more, I guess, like student council related activities. But in college, there's a lot more, like the social environment is very prevalent, and so it's a lot like taking the issues you talk about in debate and then seeing how you can transform your local college. But debate itself, there's just, as I know, it's a huge time investment in college, so I don't know if I'm ready to like commit to that just yet.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense. And college, like you said, it opens up so many, there's so much more to
Yeah.
access. Um, so we talked about that, what's something you were most proud of, and then, sorry, I'm looking at a list off the screen, but
Mhm.
what was being an Elks Scholar going to help you do? What will being an Elks Scholar help you with?
So I think part of the leadership weekend, like the part that stuck the most out to me, was simply where all the Elk scholars are located, which is everywhere. If you like, when they talked about it, it was basically like you could meet an Elk scholar, any college campus, any city in the United States. And like I said earlier, Elks really gives you that like way to enable yourself to do service. You want to do service, but if you don't necessarily have an outlet, Elk sort of is always going to be there to be that outlet, like whether or not I want to do a leadership weekend, or if I want to do something like reach out with another Elk scholar. And then since we're in the same community, we can identify problems within our community and work on them together. And so having those connections and being like able to enable myself to do the things in service that I want is really what Elks has shown me and what I'm going to be grateful for, hopefully.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that you've already found a way to connect with your fellow scholars. I know that you all started like a group chat. Are you still in touch from the top 28 weekend?
Yeah, definitely. We talk anytime anything about Elks comes up, like whether any guys email us, we're always like going back and forth about our ideas, and like the chat's pretty lively whenever we do have something about Elks that we want to share with one another.
Awesome. That's great. And this leads nicely into the next thing that I want to ask about. What was a highlight for you or your favorite part of the top 20 virtual leadership weekend?
Uh all jokes aside, I genuinely think the game night was like the best part about it, because that was really when everybody got to settle down. We already had gone through all the icebreakers and stuff, so people could like be more open, and like you could see everyone's personality a lot more. And so that part was really fun because it turned a what was like what began as slightly formal into like a completely informal and fun event where we could all just meet each other.
That's so cool. Yeah, I think that that weekend, no matter what form it is, if it's virtual or in person, is fun but also stressful.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice that you all connected over video chatting and gaming. It was I was there for the beginning part, and it was nice to see. And I know a lot of people
Definitely.
really enjoyed that part. So what were you doing when you found out that you were going to be a top 20 MVS scholar? Do you remember?
So I actually got the email. I had opened the email, and so although I don't remember what I was like specifically doing at the time, I just remember like as soon as I opened the email, I was like, "There's no way, right?" Like there's like a huge message, and it's like only 20 students are selected. So I was awestruck at the beginning because I didn't expect, especially while sending my application, and I thought, like, is this good enough? I was sort of second guessing myself, and so I was definitely really excited. I sent it to my parents immediately. I sent it to a couple of my friends immediately as well, and it was just like a really like happy moment because you sort of got not only like that recognition, but like you're going to be part of something bigger for the next 4 years, or even after that.
Yeah, that's I love what you just said there about being part of something bigger, because it truly is an Elks family network across the country. So there's lots of ways that you can get involved and stay connected. And like you said, past the 4 years of college.
Yeah.
So like once an Elk scholar, always an Elk scholar.
Yep.
And what would you say to the Elks if you could say anything? They'll be watching this, so.
Um, I guess like to the foundation in general, thank you so much for selecting me. Obviously, I hope I can do some of the things that you guys have already done or work towards doing. You know, being part of this service-based community, we all have like the same thing in mind, and so I really hope I can integrate myself into that system fast. And I hope I can, you know, reach out to people more once I go to UT Austin. I definitely think like uh, once I'm part of that community, I'll definitely want to change that as well. And so if any Elks scholars are in that area, please feel free to reach out to me. Uh, I'm really happy to, you know, like meet other Elks scholars. We can talk about our experiences and what we can do going forward.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I know Colleen will be able to get you connected with other scholars near you, so that'll be great. All right. Is there anything else you would like to add? Anything else you want to share?
No, I'm really happy to, you know, do this interview with you, and it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you like the show, make sure you hit the like button below and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Definitely leave a comment.
Yes, comment too. Welcome Neer into the Elks family. And thank you so much for helping us build strong communities and connecting with the hashtag Elks family. Thanks, Neer, for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.